head of Uber Freight says the U.S. is in a shipping Armageddon and there's no one solution. Uber Freight headline or Ron, Mr. Ron, told CNBC's Jim Cramer on Thursday, "There's no single solution to the country's trucking crisis. It really requires the entire industry because we are facing just unprecedented times. We're living in a shipping Armageddon," he said. There's a 2-minute video here. I'll put the link down below. Told CNBC's Jim Cramer on Thursday, "There's no single solution. It requires everybody to get involved." Uber Freight, which launched in 2017, uses an app to connect shippers who need loads hauled with available truck drivers, operating as a middleman and a crucial part of the U.S. economy. There's more than 1 million drivers now on Uber Freight network, according to Ron. While Ron argued Uber Freight can make aspects of long-haul trucking more efficient, he cautioned that it alone will not alleviate the industry's challenges, such as driver shortages. That's been exuberated by the COVID crisis. We can definitely make a dent with technology, and we are, but it requires more. Some of it also is about the wages, he added, noting the job can be challenging and some people want to prioritize being close to family. I'll put the link below, but I'm not gonna read the whole thing here. So, look, I've been around trucking my entire life, and what I can tell you about it is that even having 1 million drivers driving on the Uber Freight network, I mean, that doesn't mean they're driving on that network all the time. That probably just means that they're booking some of their freight through that. The really good ones, have their own office people, getting those freight connections and mapping out where they're going to go. Pick up a load, drop it off, pick up another load, go somewhere else, drop it off, and to be able to pick up another load and come back and make like that round trip, or even just a direct connection from point A to B back to A, but with a load. And technology absolutely helps. The wage thing is, somebody I was kind of following around on Instagram a little bit, checking out their Instagram. They were dangling a truck Volvo key in front of a truck, and talking about how easy the trucking industry is and stuff like that. And I had a good laugh with some of the people that work at Pardo Fleet Solutions and my dad about it. So, it's not easy. The trucking industry, look, you might be able to buy an over-the-road truck, $150,000. I mean, there's a ton of things that go wrong with trucks. The EPA standards and using DPF filters literally creates the trucks are self-destructing. Instead of putting the black soot out the smokestack like you may be used to seeing on old trucks that don't have DPF filters, they literally allow the carbon that would be coming out to stay. Some of it gets caught up in the filter, and the filter can kind of be cleaned, and then the carbon can be disposed of properly. But a lot of that carbon ends up just in the engine, just caking in like arteries, getting closed up, and the costs that come with repairing anything on a truck that comes very rapidly if you're actually doing the miles and making the it all work is just a punch in the gut at every turn. Like we've had truck repair in my family, we've had truck parts in my family, trucking in my family, brokerage in my family, like brokering freight, kind of like basically what Uber Freight does, and as well as some other facets of truck sales and things of that nature. So it's when we're talking about shipping and finding the right drivers, a lot of people that would be drivers have probably turned to getting a box truck and driving for Amazon as a contractor or under somebody else's flag as a contractor for Amazon. And that because they get to be home every night. They don't have to do the long hauls. They don't have to do, the work that nobody wants to do, or very few people want to do, or not as many people want to do. And when you talk about the rates on the loads, they fluctuate like wildly. Certain areas have loads coming out, so it's like, oh, I could get this expensive load out of like the Northeast, go up to Maine or New Hampshire or something like that. But coming out of there, there's nothing coming out. So it's like I could take stuff up, and then when I come, coming back, there's nothing, or it's so cheap, that load coming back is so cheap that it like barely covers your costs between a driver and or covering fuel costs, tolls, insurance, your DOT, like all the things, DOT number, like it's so complicated. It's so much more complicated than like, hey, let me grab my car key and go drive for Uber Eats or drive somebody around in my car with Uber. It's a very complicated thing. I'm actually really surprised that Uber has gotten involved with it, just because it's just so nuanced and wildly swings from one way to the other. So, hopefully we are able to get through the shipping crisis, as all of these crises will start to resolve themselves as the days go by. I certainly hope so.